Hi, this is Daniel DiTuro. In this video, I'm going to go over the ingredients and method to make a stand mixer raisin bread. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can knead the dough by hand. In a large bowl, add 3½ cups of unbleached bread flour, 4 teaspoons of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 ounce of instant yeast, and 1¼ teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Use a whisk, fork, or spoon to thoroughly combine the dry ingredients. The remaining ingredients for this recipe is 1 large egg, slightly beaten, 2 tablespoons of shortening at room temperature, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, whole or 2% milk, 3/4 cup of water at room temperature, and 1½ cups of raisins. You can use dark or golden raisins, whichever you prefer. In your stand mixer bowl, add the dry ingredients, the beaten egg, shortening, water, and milk. Attaching the dough hook, begin mixing on low speed until the flour becomes incorporated into the wet ingredients and begins to form a ball. In this case, the dough is too sticky, so I'm adding flour 1 tablespoon at a time. Depending on your flour, you may need to add flour or water to achieve a dough that's tacky but not overly sticky. When the dough is the right consistency, turn the mixer up to kneading speed and knead 6 to 8 minutes. Otherwise, you can knead the dough by hand for about 10 minutes. Add the raisins and stir it into the dough. If your machine doesn't distribute the raisins to your satisfaction, you may have to knead the raisins into the dough by hand. Turn the dough out into a bowl lightly coated with oil and roll to coat with oil. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and let the dough rise about 2 hours or until doubled in bulk. Turn the dough out onto a floured surface and use a scraper or knife to cut it in half. For even baking, try to make the 2 halves as equal as possible. Use your hands to shape each piece into a 5 by 8 to 6 inch long rectangle. Then, starting from the short end, roll each piece up and transfer it to baking pans coated with cooking spray. Cover each pan with plastic wrap or an inverted loaf pan if you have extras, and allow the dough to rise 60 to 90 minutes or until double in bulk. Bake 40 to 50 minutes or until the loaves are golden brown or have an internal temperature of 190 degrees. Immediately remove the baked loaves from the pan and cool on wire racks 1 to 2 hours prior to slicing. A 1-inch slice of raisin bread has about 155 calories, 2 grams of saturated fat, and 95 milligrams of sodium. Thank you for watching. Buon appetito!